we were starting out sort of leading the way on introducing sustainable design to our clients and the benefits of sustainable design, but now we're finding that clients are starting to come to us more and more frequently asking for sustainable aspects, regardless of how much they know about it. Some are very savvy, some are not so savvy, but they know it's important.
Yeah, I think that customers are more aware of the need to care about the environment, and many of them, you know, at least they want to consider the possibility. Many of these systems are still expensive, so they still want to take a look at them. If it's something that they can afford, they're certainly willing to go for it.
I haven't worked on a building that hasn't had an emphasis on sustainability in probably 5 years.
I think that over time what's been happening due to some good marketing, also due to the realities of our fuel issues and resource issues, I think that people are wising up to the real true benefits of green design, sustainable design, and LEED.
I mean, everybody is trying to get in sustainable issues in every building. I mean, I think it's just the nature of the beast today.
The market is actually catching up to where there's enough competition out there among the people that are creating products to realize, hey, this is something that's good for us too. And as something gets less exploratory, the cost comes down and it becomes more in comparison with something that's say not a green product, for example. And ultimately, you know, you think about your children. I do, and I believe that, you know, we've got to leave some sort of legacy. Regardless of bottom line, we've got to leave some sort of legacy that gives them a world to live into. And to me, that's really where it starts for me, is wanting to create an environment that is commonsensical, makes good space, and is going to do a little bit to help sustain the life that we have here on this earth.
What Jeff said just now is exactly right. I think what's happening is that people are seeing the results in their bottom line and are realizing that it makes good business decisions. It's not, I think there's something for everybody in sustainability. It doesn't have to be just the hippie tree huggers. It doesn't have to be just the business people making sound business sense. It's across the board. There's something that everybody can do to contribute to a better environment long term.
And I think the reality is ultimately the whole notion of sustainable and green building and commissioning won't exist, because it'll be just the way that we do things.
Yeah, in fact, I had a client who said exactly the same thing. They said, when we talked about whether they should do LEED or not LEED, they said, well, nobody ever says, should we do an ADA building? You know, do you make this building handicap accessible? No, you just do it, and nobody thinks about it, and that's sort of the way that we think things are going to go.
The hardest thing now is to kind of wade through all the greenwashing that's kind of going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a lot of people are making a lot of great claims. You know, I get phone calls, yeah, we're LEED certified, you know, like, you're not even saying it right, you know.
One of our responsibilities as professionals also is that we've got to be ready to teach and train municipal employees.
It's common sense. You're looking at a model of something that's easy to modify.
We think it's an excellent tool to be able to quickly get the client to sign off on schematics and be able to see the three-dimensional layout, you know, of the spaces.
That the whole BIM technology is very attractive to the contractor, because he now can look on a computer screen and resolve a conflict, as opposed to having 3 or 4 guys out in the field scratching their head trying to figure out, now what are we going to do, and we've got to call somebody, and eventually it all trickles back to the architect to look at the consultant's work and try to come up with a resolution to any conflict. A lot of that can be avoided because it's right there in front of the computer screen. So you talk about man hours and overhead. It's a huge savings, I would think, for the contractor on a large project.
If you've got kind of products that you like, that you know, and then you're case speccing any of them and say, you know, company X actually already has a Revit family built for their product. Well, that's going to end up in my model. As you know, if all things being constant, it's going to end up in the Revit model because it's already there, and I don't have to go and build it. If somebody says, you know, we just started this new soy-based backing program for our carpet. We're completely different than we were 2 years ago. Can we come in and talk to you about it? That's so much better than, you know, hey, can we just do a lunch and learn? You know?
Yeah, I'd like to know that there's some, I'm being truly educated. I'm not just being wined and dined.
I mean, repurposing a building is the most sustainable thing you can do. durability is something that inherently is much more sustainable.
You know, even though we're talking about the trend and the movement of green building and the trend and the movement toward BIM technology, we're actually light years behind. Culture will demand of us to be sustainable at some point. Right now our culture has demanded that we be more rapid in our production of design of buildings. And that's why we're a very innovative country. We come up with ideas, and then you find other countries that are much better at executing those ideas. That's sort of the role that we've been playing for the last 100 years, is that of cultural innovators.
I'm Katie Peterson. I'm an architect with Perkins & Will.
My name is Newell Watkins, and I'm an architect with Hauser Walker Architecture, and I am the Emerging Professionals Director for AIA Atlanta.
Hi, I'm Jeff Wren. I'm the president and founder of Earth Station Architecture.
Registered architect and principal for HBNA Architects. I'm looking for the opportunity when we will be able to take sustainable design to the next highest level.